All right, good afternoon, back 40 friends. All right, we got another fun-filled activity day here. Listen, I've already been going for quite some time, but I thought, it's probably a good spot to go ahead and include you folks in on this. A little bit of like what we did last week. Make sure my robot's following me. Hear a little music in the background. I got my favorites playing right now. Not my favorites, just the radio on my phone. Anyway, a little bit like what we did last week. We did the garden, the drip irrigation for the garden. Well, I'm doing the drip irrigation for the trees that we've planted. We have, if you've watched any of my other videos, we have planted a serious amount of trees on this property since we had the bark beetle infestation in I believe it was 2016. And I think I've shown before, just out front here, this front acre, we were devastated. Nearly every tree, pine tree, we lost, and it was not a good time. I spent several years getting it all cleaned up, having it logged out, all the bark beetle kills, and then a few years later, just replanting. A couple weeks ago, I burnt all the stumps, not all of them, but right up front here where we kind of have our fellowships and party and family get-togethers. So finally just got those all burnt out. So yeah, it's been a decade. I'm still dealing with it. But some of these trees we personally have planted, and I try to give them an edge, water them in the heat of the summer to help them out. And I try to do a little less each year because especially native ones, you don't want to irrigate them because then they get used to it and they're going to want that during the summer. And but I also want to give them a fighting chance because typically when you plant, you get, I think you get about I don't know what the percentage is. I think they plant, let's say 10 trees. I think you lose like 70% or something like that, 60%. And so, I mean, we planted 500-600 trees, various types, cedar, pine, got some fir trees over there I've done, and plus just some non-fruit bearing and just a variety. I've transplanted a ton of trees, and so I just want to give them a fighting chance. Been doing this now for about 5 years, and I just had a new round of putting some new ones in. So just trying to give them that fighting chance, if you will. And so I'm putting in some new irrigation drip lines this year, and so that's what we're doing today. There we go. All right, let's go bury this line over. I'm burying it because it's going across a little homemade road, aka fire break. And so I'm I'm just burying just a short, 10, 12-foot section so that I can still drive over here if I need to. But I got all, anyway, get out there. Get out there. Come on. Get out there. So I think some of the other projects I got to do this year. This summer I got to redo my fly bags. I learned if you put your fly bags out kind of earlier in the season, you tend to catch, the first flies that are coming out. I don't know. This is my theory, but it seems like you kind of, that's the first batch that ain't laying no more eggs. You know what I mean? So I think my theory is pretty sound. So I'm probably going to do that next week or so. Get them up. I got a schedule in my office over there of things I got to get done by October to get ready for winter. And, it's just part of living in the woods, maintaining your property. So drip lines, firewood. I'll be out doing firewood probably maybe the next month or two when it's real hot. All right, I got in this trench, I put some, I got some dried out cane poles, use them for staking stuff down in the garden and whatnot. And so I put them in the trench with the water line so that because it's just drip line. It's not actual PVC drip irrigation line. And so I put it in there to help distribute some of the weight underneath the dirt. So as the cars are going over, it doesn't cut off circulation to the water flow. That's another theory of mine. I think it works because I do have quite a number of irrigation lines that are underground. And this is what I've done, similar to this. I put other things. There we go. I think we're ready to bury it. And then we'll find out if running over it does anything. Well, I've noticed it usually takes a little bit for folks to watch my videos. After a while, I notice not too many, but enough. Satisfies me anyway. But I'd like to see a few more folks commenting. I guess good, bad, or indifferent. Don't matter, I guess. So if you watch this, feel free to comment, or even if you got some better ideas about burying irrigation lines, definitely let me know. But there we go. Nice. Good thing about these things that cane holes and everything else, if I ever have to change something, I just cut it off and leave them, because they'll end up, where's my rake? Here we are. We end up they're biodegradable, and so I just cut the hose off where I put it in, and that'll pull right out, and then you don't have to redig anything up. All that's left is the dirt and rock and the cane poles you put in, and you don't have to redig nothing. There we go. Oh yeah, nice. So all I got to do now is I got my wheelbarrow set up, got all my goodies in it, little connectors and 1/4-inch line and stuff, and then I just go around, and wherever I want to put one, I pop a hole in the line, plug it in. So I got probably 1,000 feet of drip line. I put 500 feet in. I installed 500 feet today. I think I did another 100 yesterday. And then I already had, I think maybe 300, two to 300 there. So, I'm closing in on 1,000 feet of this stuff. Trying to keep these trees alive over the last few years. So, it works. I can already see some of the comments right now. Anybody I work with, as I walk by, they're going to be like, "Where'd you get the rake, Dustin?" Yes, I brought it home from work because I knew I was going to do this today, and I needed an asphalt rake so that I could rake that area up. I installed another one earlier today over in the driveway, and that's the one I really needed for it because it was all gravel. And those asphalt rakes are really good at raking out gravel. So I'll bring it back. Uh-oh. What happened? All right. So I'm gonna go grab my wheelbarrow, and we'll start plugging stuff in. I'll give you guys a break right now, and we'll put all this together in a little bit, maybe tonight. I like to post this stuff on the weekend while it's happening, but our service ain't so good up here. I've been wanting to get that Elon Musk internet. One we got's okay, but man, it just takes forever to download stuff. And, you want to do an email, I mean, you can do it. It just takes a little bit. So we've been talking about getting the Elon Musk internet, especially now that he's a trillionaire. Good for him. I'm a hardcore capitalist. If I could make $1 trillion, I would. More power to him. And the fact he's not even from America. He's an American citizen now, but he came here with the American promise of a better life if you work hard, and he did it and is doing it. It's a good example to all, you know. And you got all the whiners and stuff. Anyway, my how do you say that word? My desire in life is to, just have the land that we have, help keep it, nice as we can, and have the kids coming over. I'd really like the kids to stop tearing things up, and every one of them is an adult, but they still come over and run all over the place, but whatever. I guess that's why we got it. If Lord ever bless us with grandkids, they're going to be able to tear whatever they want up. Grandma will surely see to that. Anyway, let's push pause for a minute, and I'm going to go start doing some more drip line stuff over there. And it's just difficult to drag the phone around just because there's not much shade, and then I'm going to be a quarter mile away talking to you while I do this. So, and probably, I bet I got 30-40 minutes already of content, just me digging that trench over. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Let me turn my... No one has commented on my robot name. I keep saying robot, and I've asked many, many times, give me a name for this robot. Something rednecky, mountain, So if you're going to comment on that. All right, let's see what we got. All righty, here we are continuing our drip irrigation installation. And I'm on the second to last run. And so hopefully not too much longer. We'll have her done. I'll run through and do a quick inspection. Make sure we're all good to go on everything. And then I've left myself plenty of room to add other things as needed. If we start planting, which I do want to plant some more trees along the driveway. I think that'll look good over time. Ouch. I nearly ripped my thumb open again with these pliers a minute ago. Just like that right there. It twists. And I like the tip of it. Ooh, that would have really, really hurt. All right, what do we got here? Let's see. I need to open up this other box. When I was a youngster back in the motherland, we had a family, relatives that owned a nursery. And it seemed like, I don't know that all the relatives worked there, but it seemed like quite a few did over the years. And I did. Didn't do it too long of a stint, because I ended up getting a different job somewhere else. That wasn't quite so as intensive, labor intensive. But I did learn a few things, though. So he wasn't my cousin, but he was like 2 or 3 times removed. I think it was actually my dad's second cousin or something like that. I can't recall. He's since passed away, and I think maybe his daughter owns it or something, which she would be like my first cousin, third removed, something like that. Anyway, I think she still runs it, which I think she was older than me. I'm 54. So, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. I learned how to do sod, laying out sod, which, trust me, you're not building any centrifuges, putting that stuff down. But there is a technique to it. And, I remember he had a work truck there, the nursery did, and needed an alternator. And he goes, go put that alternator in. I ain't never put no alternator in nothing. I think I was 12 or something like that when I worked there. Now, I must have been older than that. I was probably like 16, maybe 15, 16, I think. Anyway, gave me the alternator and some tools, so I go put that in. I said, okay. What was I going to get? Oh, yeah. stake this thing down. So I learned a little bit about nurserying, working there for a summer. And so that was kind of cool. Learned how to put in drip irrigation and that kind of stuff. I put a lot of irrigation in over the years for family and different jobs. It's not that hard. It is labor intensive, I will say that. It a lot of hand digging and moving dirt. But it's actually pretty satisfying. She said she wanted are you kidding me? There we are. All right. She said she wanted put them on the corners of this little house. And I think that looked kind of nice. So I don't have no more of them kind of, you know, you put the little stands in and this thing sticks straight up. So I'm having to redneck a couple here so that it does that. Electrical tape. Next duct tape. This is where it's at right here. All right. I'm going to string this right over here. There we go. Look at that. Boom shakalaka. Man, this thing is on or off. There we go. That got it. Boom. All right, let's go do another one. Got to do the other bucket. Oh. So my plan is where these burnt stumps are right here, I'll cave them in the sides, and then if you watch the video sometime back, we got the topsoil and it's like a mulch. What the heck? I can't think of the name of it right now. Anyway, we brought in 2 truckloads of that if you watch that video. So what we'll do is I'll cave that in and then fill in the rest of the void with that. And then I want to plant some trees where these stumps are. I figure they'll probably grow pretty good like that. But you got to get all that loose stuff down so there ain't no oxygen down there. You get root rot and that kind of stuff. What do I want to do with this one? Probably something similar to the last one. It's always a good rule. All right, put the little toys back. Okay, I think we'll call it good on the filming. I've given you enough information what I'm doing today. Something like that. But I thought this would be pretty cool. This would be a lot of fun. That's what I think we'll do tomorrow afternoon. All right, let's turn robot off here and off. And then let's pull the camera out. Alrighty, here we go. Getting the drip line in. Okay. All right, folks. Like always, just click all the buttons, do all the things, make all the comments, and remember, when you pillow your head at night, Big Iron loves you. We still got a few hours of daylight left, but I'll say goodnight anyway. Have a good night.